welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing a full face of makeup I never usually buy, and you might be wondering what that is. Essentially it's just me using makeup products that I've always been, I guess, curious of. However, I've never bought them because they're maybe not marketed towards my skin type, or perhaps it's a formula that I've just never used. If you're interested in seeing which products I'm going to be using, then feel free to keep watching. And if you like all things related to makeup and beauty, then please consider subscribing, because that is what my channel is all about. I'm going to start off with eyebrows today. And I guess you could say I'm more trying out a technique. I really like the whole brow lamination, I don't know, that look. I like that look. However, I think it suits some people and not everyone. And I'm not sure if it would suit me, but I really want to try it. I bought two brow products, the Soap Brows soap in a tin, and I bought the Ardell Stroke a Brow feathering pen to kind of use those in conjunction with each other. So in the box you get the brow soap. It doesn't smell like anything really, just sort of has that very generic soapy smell. So you get a bamboo spoolie with it as well. It says here it has an instant thickening effect with extra hold, leaving you with beautifully styled brows all day long. Okay, let's try it. I'm just going to use my MAC Fix Plus. So I've got it all on there. Oh my god, my brow hairs are like really they're so long. I think they're a bit too long for this. What I've done is just brushed them in a way to kind of make them appear a bit thicker. I might have to continue to just play around with the product a little bit. It will be interesting to see how the feathering pen works as well. I'm hoping it's a good colour for me. This is my thinner one. I've definitely got a lot more sparse areas on this side, so I'm definitely going to have to fill this in a little bit more. Okay, I think I've got them as even as I can. They're definitely looking thicker already. Okay, so here I have the Ardell Stroke a Brow feathering pen. This shade is medium brown. Doesn't seem like particularly pigmented, which could be a good thing. As you can see, it's got really fine tip, which is gonna be really good, I think, if I can get this right. Nothing really seems to be happening at the moment. I don't know if it's just mixing in with the brow product and it's just like it's just not having it. It's not coming out of the end very well. Like if I'm just using the very end, it's very, very faint, or it's just nothing. But if I press down, I can get something. But because I want to be a bit more precise, it's almost making things a little bit more difficult for me. It's doing something, it's just not doing a lot. What I'm gonna do is just revert back to my eyebrow pencil, my NYX eyebrow pencil, and just fill in the sparse areas. Look, I'm just gonna say it, I don't know how I feel at this stage. I feel like maybe I look a little bit like an idiot, but maybe it's because I'm not used to it. Do they look nice? I don't know. I'm just so not used to this. It's just so different, isn't it? Like, it's just so different. Definitely prefer this one. But eyebrows are sisters, not twins. And sometimes they're cousins, and that is fine. Moving on to foundation now, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. This blew up like 3-4 years ago, maybe even more than that. But everyone was obsessed with this foundation, especially people from the States. This actually isn't available in the UK in any of our drugstores or anything like that. It is exclusively available on Amazon. This is the shade 203 Nude Beige. So I have no idea if this is going to match me. This is a Radiant Finish foundation, and I talk about this quite a fair amount on my channel. I have an oily skin type, but I also have dehydrated skin. I don't drink nearly enough water during the day, so my skin can sometimes feel a bit, I guess a bit tight, but still feel oily. I've always loved that radiant finish, that lovely glowy makeup, but because of my oily skin, I've always felt like I couldn't have that, because I'd be able to wear a foundation like that for 2 hours at the most, and then my oils would just break it down. However, I really wanted to try this because I've heard a lot of mixed things about people with oily skin can use it, people with oily skin can't use it. So I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to try it. It's a very liquid formula. I'm just hoping that it doesn't oxidize. Oh, but I think it is oxidizing. Oh dear. It's fine. So I'm just using my Real Techniques makeup sponge. Wow, okay. Okay, this foundation does look like it's drying down. It's definitely not a perfect match, but it's way better than that other shade I have. So far, I'm actually really liking it. Oh yeah, this oxidizes. It just seems to oxidize ever so slightly, but it definitely does oxidize. Definitely seems to be building up nicely in terms of the coverage. Wow, I look quite orange on camera. Let me just show you what it looks like without the lights. So it doesn't look so bad. Here's my hand. Obviously you can see my hand's slightly paler. Look at my nails. I'm a mess. Yeah, the shade's not terrible. I feel like I can definitely get away with it. Typically I would never buy, my ears are looking a bit pale. Typically I would never in a million years buy anything that's got the name Pro Glow or Radiant Finish. I'm really praying and hoping that it wears well, because if I can get maybe five hours wear out of this foundation, I'll be happy. I'm going to be using the Infallible Pro Glow concealer. I thought it would be really good to use the same concealer in the Infallible Pro Glow line. I've never used like a Radiant Finish concealer. I do have two here. I have 02 Creamy Natural and I have 03 Nude Beige. This one here is 02 Creamy Natural and this one is Nude Beige. Wow, it feels really lightweight. I think that's really nice. It's definitely not anything special, but it feels very lightweight, completely different to my Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer. I feel really, I want to say comfortable. Next, moving on to bronzer, highlighter, and also blush. I'm going to use the cream products by Fenty Beauty. I've got the Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Blush, and I've got the Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Bronzer. Wow, I love the packaging. And I have the shade 03 Macchiato. I don't feel like that's a bronzer shade. I feel like it's leaning more neutral, so it could work as a contour shade. I'm not somebody who's ever used cream products. Do you know what that's actually quite a warm colour. It's very emollient, it's so creamy, it's really quite nice. It's very satisfying to kind of like scoop out with your finger. Do you know what? I was a bit concerned with the shades. I just didn't know what shade would be best. And I actually thought this would end up being a bit dark, but it's actually all right. It looks a lot darker in the pan, and it looks like a completely different undertone in the pan, to be honest. But with it going on the skin, it looks nice. It looks nice. I like it. I've never been somebody who uses cream products. I've always been a bit almost scared, a bit cautious of them because I have oily skin. I always thought that you just couldn't use cream products. So I'm hoping that this video can help anyone out there who has kind of had the same thoughts as me, and perhaps I can just help in doing a bit of, I don't know, myth busting. I really like that, and I'm not gonna lie, I really wasn't sure about it. It's really nice. It hasn't disturbed the foundation underneath or anything like that. It's just melted into the skin beautifully. It hasn't added like a sheen or like a texture that wasn't already there before. But now that I've used the bronzer, I feel like if the blusher is anything similar, the colour I think won't be too pigmented, and it's going to be something that I can sheer out a lot, because I mean it's not really showing as bright on camera, but this really is quite bright. It's in the shade 05 Strawberry Drip, which I thought sounded lovely, and that's why I bought this shade. I'm just gonna use my finger again. Oh, it's really soft. Looks like that. Oh, you could use it on your lips. I'm really happy with that. It just looks really nice. It just looks beautiful. It looks absolutely beautiful. There isn't a highlighter that I wouldn't buy, so I thought, considering this was one that I have bought and used but wouldn't usually purchase it because of how glittery it is, I thought I would just use this highlighter in this video, because there really isn't a highlighter that I wouldn't buy. There isn't. This I really wasn't sure of when I first bought it, because it really is just glitter. Like, it's just glitter. Look at that. I mean, it's a joke. That's what it looks like in the pan. I mean, look how reflective the actual powder is. You can see my ring light being reflected in it. It is stunning. So next I'm actually going to move on to eyeshadow, and I really had a hard time trying to think of what eyeshadows I wouldn't really use. And again, very much like the highlighter situation, there isn't an eyeshadow that I wouldn't use. There's not really a palette that I wouldn't use. So I did have to get a little bit creative in thinking about, well, what's something that I don't like about eyeshadow? Colour stories, textures, formulas. So I'm going to be using the Too Faced Chocolate Gold. Now, loads of people love this, and it is a beautiful eyeshadow palette. It is. I mean, the packaging, for one, is absolutely stunning. Smells like chocolate. This is the colour story. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the shades, other than there are only 4 matte eyeshadows in this eyeshadow palette. 4 matte eyeshadows versus 12 metallic shimmery shadows. Beautiful palette. However, it's not something that I would typically buy because of the shimmery shadow to matte eyeshadow ratio. I would get through the matte eyeshadow so quickly, and I would most definitely have to use this palette alongside another one, because there's just absolutely no way I could I could, you know, manage with just 4 matte eyeshadows. Like, I would struggle with that, like really struggle with that. However, I do really love the colour story. I think the shades that are in here are beautiful. But the thing that I just can't get over is you've obviously got these larger pan shadows here. And I'm like, well, currently there's only 4 matte shadows. If these pans were the same size as the others, you could have another couple of matte shadows in there. I just noticed that this lovely little leaflet fell out of the packaging, and it's a how-to glamour guide. Look at this. It's a whole guide to help you with beautiful eyeshadow looks. These are really stunning. I think I'm gonna follow this, you know. I really like this. They don't just kind of tell you step by step what you need to do, they show you as well. And I think for somebody that's just starting to get into eyeshadow, that's a really nice thing to do. So my eyelids are now all primed. They've actually named the looks as well, and the one that I'm going for, the silvery purple one, is called Razzle Dazzle. So it says, apply rolling in dough from lash line to brow bone. Sweep So Bougie into crease. Rolling in dough is that really, that large light shade. Ooh. Okay, there is pigment. Then use So Bougie in the crease. So Bougie is like a nice, I guess, transition shade. So this one here. So that is looking quite nice actually. So far the mattes are really easy to blend out. Next it says smoke Livin' Lavish from centre of lid and blend outward, then smudge into lower lash line. Ooh, so Livin' Lavish is this really nice purple colour here. Press Dripping Diamonds onto centre of lid. I can do that. So Dripping Diamonds is this really nice, almost like blue toned silver. It's a very icy silver. Dab Rich Girl onto Inner Corner. It's this shade here. Looks kind of silvery with a slight hint of like rose gold. Let's dab this on the inner corner. Very beautiful. It's different for me. Glad I tried it. The eyeshadows were really nice. They were really easy to work with. You don't need really a ton of mattes to make a nice eyeshadow look. You just kind of need the basics, you know, the basic kind of transition shades and things like that. So, you know, maybe I was wrong. Perhaps actually the 4 matte shades that are in here are enough to be able to create really nice looks. I have actually got the Maybelline Sky High mascara to use. I don't tend to buy mascaras. I seem to always get them as presents. So I thought I'd get this mascara. One, because it's been hyped about so bloody much. And oh, I think I can kind of see why. And also because, I mean, I never buy mascara, so wow, this is really quite a nice mascara. So far, I'm like impressed at everything I've used, but moving on to lips, I really had to get creative because there really isn't a formula or a colour that I wouldn't wear. I ended up going on the Fenty Beauty website to purchase like another gloss bomb because I really like these. There was this new like product thing on there, and it was like this keychain set. So you get a keychain type silicone thing to put around your Gloss Bomb. It came with the Fenty Glow shade and it came with this new shade called Pink Dragonfly, and it's described as a pink coral with a golden shimmer, which, yeah, I would agree with that. I was umming and ahhing about it because I thought, well, I don't really like that Pink Dragonfly shade. Got Fenty Glow and I got the keychain, and I've possibly bought a lip gloss that I'm going to hate. Which is quite funny because considering I'm doing a video that is a full face of makeup that I never buy, this is the only product I've bought where I'm like, I just don't know. I'm going to start off by just lining my lips. I'm not going to overline them like I usually do. That's what it looks like. So I was thinking the gold was going to be like really prominent. It's not really, it's just like a pink, a nice pink lip gloss. Okay, I was wrong. It's nice. It's actually really quite nice. So in comparison to the shade Fussy, this is what it looks like, and it is a lot darker. Doesn't really go with the eye makeup. It's kind of clashing a little bit in my opinion. Wow, I mean, I can't stop looking at it, so that's a good sign. So everyone, that brings us to the end of this video. I'm really pleasantly surprised by a lot of these products. Some of them I really wasn't sure about, but I kind of bought them anyway, thinking that, you know, if they don't work for that particular thing, I can always just repurpose them. And I'm actually really chuffed with how the makeup has turned out. I'm hoping that this might help somebody out there who's also had the same, I guess, concerns around some of the makeup. Like, I really wasn't sure that I was going to get on with cream product. I'm very happy with all this makeup. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you next week in another video. Bye bye.